Hello everyone. This is a short presentation about some of the differences between the Arabic language and the English language and how these differences might impact the Arab learners of the English language.
Let's start with a little bit of background information about the Arabic language. The Arabic language is a Semitic language similar to the Hebrew. It is one of the very ancient languages on earth. And the oldest form of Arabic literature is poetry. And this is the practice of literature that was initially used and for long years. And we have the Arabic counterpart for Shakespeare, the Shakespearean Arabic kind of, and that is Al-Mutanabbi. The Arabic language is an official language recognized by the United Nations, and there is one day in the year that is marked to celebrate this, and that day is 18th of December. That's the Arabic International Day. First, we'll start with a little of background about the Arabic language. First of all, Arabic language is known to be very rich with synonyms. As an example here, the word love, we have a continuum of vocabulary items related to the word love, like hub, ishq, hiyam, uh, from the low kind of level to the highest level. The same thing applies to a word like camel. Camel, we have a lot of items and vocabulary used to refer to the animal camel. Like when some nationalities or some cultures have different and many words for cheese, for example, it's the same thing. Another difference or another kind of piece of information about the Arabic language is that we have our own numerical system, which we will refer to it in a minute. How many alphabet characters do we have in Arabic? We have 28 characters in Arabic. English has a 26 characters. By the way, a lot of items, because of borrowing and intercultural kind of interactions between societies and cultures. We have a lot of words that are used in English, but originally they are rooted from Arabic. Words like arsenal, magazine, coffee, candy, checkmate, all of these are of Arabic origin, by the way.
Okay, now we'll talk about some of the differences between the two languages and how these differences might impact the learners of the English, especially the Arab native speakers. So one of the main differences is that the direction of the written language. The Arabic is usually written from right to left, while English is written from left to right. And this will have some impacts on the learner. One of them is writing or miswriting the letters with mirror shapes, like D and B. So especially young learners of the English language might write B for D or D for B, and it is the same for P and Q. They will need some time until they get used to writing these letters in the right direction. Another impact is making left to right movements when spelling some words. So, for example, writing FO first for the word from instead of FR first. And the same with town. So TW would be written instead of TO first. So this is one of the impact of the direction of the language. Another one is that some symbols might be inverted, like the question mark. In the Arabic, the question mark will face the right direction, so it might be also used when the young learners especially write questions in English instead of making the question mark facing the left side. Another difference between the two languages is how the numbers are written in terms of their order. So, for example, in Arabic, the ones are written first and then the tens. So for the number 45, 5 will be first and then 4. For the digit of three numbers, the hundreds will be written first and then the ones and finally the tens. So 645 will be 6, 5, and 4. The impact of this is that the Arabic learners of the English might misread or miswrite the numbers. So they might, for example, write 67 while they want to write 76. Or 128, they would say, but they would mean actually 182.
Let's talk now about the word order of the sentence, of the English sentence. The English sentence normally starts with the subject first, and then the verb and the object. This is also used in Arabic. However, in Arabic, we also have the other option where we start with the verb first and then the subject and the object. This has kind of some interference in students writing and speaking. So you might see some students writing something like play Ahmed football. When they mean Ahmed plays football. This is common, especially among young learners or early learners. Another difference about the use of adjectives. Normally in Arabic, the adjective comes after the noun. For example, الشمس الشمس مشرقة أو مريم جميلة. This could be transferred into literally into English, something like Mariam beautiful, of course, which will make some error in the sentence. Another difference that I would like to shed the light on is the vowels, and this will have its impact on the pronunciation and on the spelling as well. While in Arabic, we have only three vowels, three long vowels, or we have long and short vowels. However, in English, there are many more vowels. In Arabic, if we look at it, it's like ba, bi, bu, or ba, bi, bu, different. It's about you. So the short ones will be ba, bi, bu. The long ones will be things like ba, bi, bu. Only 6 of these, 3 short, 3 long. That's it. In English, it's more complicated actually for Arabic learners.
One more difference is related to the upper and lower case. In English, as we know that we have uppercase and lowercase, and they are used in certain ways. But in Arabic, we don't have any uppercase. We have only one form of writing. So that might lead to punctuation problems or mistakes when the Arabic learners write names, for example, like Ahmed, Jasim, Salman would be written without any uppercase. Another thing is about the apostrophe. There is no apostrophe in Arabic. In English, we need to use the apostrophe. So, for example, my father's house could be written for my father's house with the apostrophe. So there is an apostrophe. This is the right form in English, but in Arabic, we don't need it. So learners might miss it. And the student's book, student's book. So we have this one. This is for the singular, and this is for plural. This is even more complicated for the Arabic learners because it requires you to understand the difference between plural and singular and how to use the apostrophe in this case.
In terms of punctuation, there are also some differences between Arabic and English. In Arabic, there is a tendency to use commas more often than full stops. Actually, if you look at the Arabic newspapers in today's world, you will find that the full stops are found at the end of the paragraph, while between sentences, what we call sentences, there are all mostly there are commas. So this is one difference. People and students normally start after the comma start with and, wa, or so. This is an example. If you look at it, this is a real example from one of the newspapers. Here you can find a full paragraph with only one full stop. And at the same time, you will find all those commas, and after the commas, words like so, then, or mostly and. Once transferred into English, you will find students writing, without many full stops. Normally, the English sentence will be mostly about a focus point, full stop. You will find more full stops in a paragraph, more sentences. Mostly students, again, intermediate, maybe early intermediate students, will transfer this punctuation error into English. Applying the plurals kind of rules in English is sometimes difficult for Arab learners because they tend normally to overgeneralize and just add an S to any noun. Although we know that there are nouns like people or children that we don't add S in English. But because this is transferred from Arabic, we have plural and singular forms for both of these words. We tend, or students tend to overgeneralize, adding S to any word. The same thing applies to those words that are collective in nature, or in English, considered to be collective, like information, furniture, equipment. In Arabic, we have this form, singular form, and there is the plural form, and there happens to be a transformation of errors. So you will see students writing informations or furnitures, equipments, which is not accepted, of course, in the English language.
One main difference also between the two languages is the use of the tenses. In the English language, there are about 12 tenses, but in the Arabic language, we have only 3 tenses, and they are used in different ways to express the meaning that the other tenses in the English language have or present. So, for example, the present simple version of the Arabic language would be I swim every day. This is similar to the English present simple. I swim every day in both. But present continuous would be used in this way in the Arabic language. I swim now instead of I'm swimming now. And for present perfect, we would say I just finished instead of I have just finished. Present perfect continuous, the version of the Arabic one is I swim for 3 hours instead of I have been swimming for 3 hours, and so on. For the past simple, I swam yesterday. Both versions are the same. The past continuous would be in the Arabic language, I swam or I was a swim instead of I was swimming. Past perfect would be represented with this in Arabic. I swam before you come. So this is very complicated, a very complicated area in the English language for the Arabic learners, or for the Arab learners. Sorry. The questions in the Arabic language are also, or have also, some differences. So students have difficulty with using the question forms that require the use of auxiliary verbs, because we don't have auxiliary verbs in Arabic. So for do, does, have, has, was, were, the Arabic has only one word that represents all of these, which is hell. So for writing any of the questions that require any of these, only hell will be used to ask any question that might start with do, does, have, has, was, and were. This will confuse the learners of the English language also when they come to write questions.
Another confusing area for Arab learners of English is the use of the conditional clauses. For example, the first conditional clause in English, you normally use the verb in the present. If you come early, you will catch the bus. This could be transferred from Arabic into English like this. If you came early, you will catch the bus. And the reason of that is the Arabic itself, the native Arabic speakers, normally they use the past when in the present clause, in the present if clause. So something like in Arabic, إذا قدمت مبكرا، إذا جئت مبكرا سوف تلحق بالحافلة. One major difference between the two languages of Arabic and English is the verb to be. Surprisingly enough, there is no verb to be in Arabic, and this will cause a lot of error for students, especially for young learners or early learners of English. As an example here, I teacher instead of I am a teacher, simply because there is no equivalent for verb to be in Arabic. The boy tall, he going to school. So you will not find the verbs to be here is or am.
And finally, the use of articles. We don't have indefinite articles, especially in the Arabic language, so there is nothing that represents the use of a. The definite article that is used in the same way of the English, but the construction sometimes is different. So let's look at all these examples and explain them. The English sentence or phrase, this book, might be written in this way in the Arabic, because this is how it is used actually. So if we want to say this book in English, in Arabic we say this the book, هذا الكتاب. هذا الكتاب. Al means the. This is a book because there is no indefinite article, or there is no indefinite article in the Arabic language, so it is not written here. Students will miss it or just ignore it. These are some of the examples of how mistakes might occur because of this confusing area. So a is used here in the wrong place, and also the. with the use of um, countries, the definite article there is used actually with many countries. Arabic, for example, India, we say the India. So in English, when students come to write it, they might add that, transfer this from the Arabic. Similar to some other countries like Kuwait, in Arabic we say al-Kuwait. Al is that actually.
We hope that this presentation is useful and that it's going to benefit you in your dealings with Arab learners of English, either in your teaching or in your different methods of communication with Arab learners. Thank you very much from both of us, Muhammad Ghazwan and Nabil Aman. Thank you.